Good morning, Facebook. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? And welcome to the Money Matters Morning Show, where we talk all things faith, finances, and the freedom of good credit. And I'm Nefateria Robinson, and I'm a coach and the author of this wonderful book, How to Act. Activate your faith, commit to a plan, and take action that will change your life. And you can get your copy at bit.ly/2ACT. And I help amazing professionals just like you that have some credit challenges to increase their credit score and to get their personal finances in order so they can live a life of freedom. So, to give you a little bit of background about me, one of the first scriptures I learned was, "Owe no man nothing but to love him, for he that hath loveth hath fulfilled the law." And then when I was in the fourth grade, I learned how to balance a checkbook. And I learned how to do that because in our class, we had to bring in gently used items and we had to bid on them via check. So we learned how to actually write out a check and pay for items with a check. And I bid it on 2 items. And then when I went to balance my checkbook, I realized I did not have enough money to cover the items. I raised my hand. I asked my teacher, "Hey, did I do the math wrong? What's going on here?" And she was like, "No, you didn't do the math wrong. It's just you don't have enough money in your account to cover what you purchase, so now you have to make a decision." And that was a hard lesson to learn at such a young age, but it taught me the importance of, counting the costs, knowing what it is in your bank account and in your checking account, deciding between a need and a want. And sometimes you have to make those kind of tough decisions. And then when I got my first job, one of my aunts taught me to save the sum and save the sum and spend the hundreds. So that was a valuable lesson because it taught me how to save at a very early age, as well as taught me how to live on limited resources. And it came in handy. One day me and my mom was going somewhere and we had got $400 out of the bank account, and for whatever reason, I don't know if I put the how you get in a car and you put like your purse or whatever in at your feet or whatever. Good morning, Tina, how are you? At your feet. And then you decide, for whatever reason, I got in the car to go get my check and I must have kicked it out. And at that moment, I realized I had lost my mama's money. But due to the fact that I was taught about saving, I was taught to owe no man nothing but to love him, and I was taught how to write a check, I was able to go on my personal checking account at that very moment and write out a check and let her know to pay for what I owed her. She was still upset, even though I paid her, because she was like, in her mind, it was $800 gone. But nevertheless, I was able to pay her back that money. So let's get into today's topic. Please tag and share your friends. Today, I truly appreciate it. And we're going to talk about 7 steps to achieving financial freedom. So step number 1. So it's essential that you, whether you're starting a career or you're thinking about moving to a city or upgrading your home or apartment, that you begin with the ends in mind. Think about what it is. What is your end goal for yourself financially and for your life and what you want? So one of the first steps is to establish a written financial plan. Now, be flexible in your plan. It only has to be a page long. It doesn't have to be anything very in-depth. But you kind of want to start out with a list of SMART financial goals. And SMART standing for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. When you come up with the financial goals for your life or for your for what you want for yourself. Also, you can create a vision board. And for those who have been following me for a while, I love creating vision boards. I also have vision board workshops. And if you'll be interested in coming to my next vision board workshop, you can go to bit.ly/Nef invite me to make sure you get an invitation to that. So you can create a vision board for your financial goals. Sometimes it helps to have something visually in front of you to constantly remind you of why it's important and what you want to achieve for yourself financially. Tip number 2 is to create a budget or a spending plan. Now, the average American don't want to create a budget. It's time consuming. They're not interested in it. They just don't want to know what's going on with their finances. But I want you to be more than average. I want you to create a budget. It's essential. You need that for yourself. I also have a digital course called Financial Fitness University where I go over that with you and assist you with creating a budget and a spending plan that you can live on, that also includes some of the activities that you enjoy and like to do. It's not just about living to pay your bills only. And you can get that course at payhip.com/go get it Inc. And then if you use the discount code FRIEND, you can get 50% off. So also, if you're not a pen and paper type person, there are some online tools where you can create a budget. There's Mint and there's You Need a Budget as well. So you can check those out as well to get started on creating your budget. Also, number 3, make your savings automatic. We talk about this a lot, about set up things on automatic payment. You want to strive to save as much as you can, early as you can. Start saving as early as you possibly can and go ahead and get started on what it is, on a great savings plan. It's important to have an emergency fund. I suggest I recommend at least 3 to 6 months of emergency fund to have that available in case something happened that covers your basic living expenses. Keep it in a separate account. Don't have it in a checking account where you pay your bills out constantly, or an account that you spend out frequently. Put it definitely in a separate account. Try to find an account that offers a higher interest rate than your standard checking account, and put that money aside there. Sometimes you can also set it up on payroll deductions, or you can also do automatic transfers through your bank. I recommend that you do at least 10% when it comes to setting up your savings. Tip number 4. Realize when it's okay to prioritize paying off debt before there is to setting up the emergency fund. So sometimes there's exceptions to not setting up the emergency fund first and prioritizing paying off debt first. If you have a high interest rate credit cards or personal loans, it's important to go ahead and take care of getting those things taken off, because you're paying too much in interest to have that, a long term when it comes to those credit card balances as well as those personal loans. And then maybe you can only start with like a $1,000 to $2,000 emergency fund, initially, until you get some of those higher interest rate credit cards and personal loans paid off, and then you can move into the 3 to 6 months goal of basic living expenses. But also try to make it a habit to pay your credit cards off in full. Make sure that you're not spending, if you are choosing to spend credit cards, which I prefer you spend cash, but if you are using credit cards, make sure you're not charging more on those credit cards than that you can pay off once the grace period is over. Number 5, avoid future temptations and removing things from your retirement account. So some of us now, we're not staying on a job until we actually retire. Sometimes we're just, we transfer jobs, we get into new careers, and sometimes we have the opportunity to remove our 401k that we have at whatever employer. But I strongly suggest you may use an IRA rollover and not to remove it, because there is a 10% penalty when you do remove that early before you're of the retirement age, and you don't want to rob your future of a now situation. Number 6, recognize that your credit score is very important, but it does not necessarily guarantee everything you're looking for when it comes to your finances. It's important that you monitor it constantly. Don't wait till you're trying to buy a car or a house or trying to purchase something that requires whoever you're trying to purchase it for to pull your credit. Make sure you're checking that on a regular basis. You can get a free credit report from annualcreditreport.com, and you can get those annually. So just make sure that you're checking your report on a consistent basis, not just when you're getting ready to purchase something. Also, number 7, define what financial independence means to you. It don't necessarily mean, don't always look at it just retirement, because sometimes that word makes you think very far off in life. And so don't look at it like that. Look at what you would like to do, in the future. Do you want to travel? What do you look forward to? Do you want to travel? Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to be able to volunteer, and know that your bills and stuff are going to be covered? Those are some things that you can consider. Good morning, Chastity. How are you? Some of those things that you can consider. Don't just look at retirement, because sometimes that seems far off, far-fetched. But think about what it is that you will want to do when you don't necessarily have to go to work every day. Would you want to volunteer? Would you want to start a business? Would you want to travel, without the concern of money? So to briefly go over the 7 tips that I talked about this morning about ways that you can achieve financial freedom. Number 1, establish a financial plan and make sure that it's flexible. Number 2, create a budget. Number 3, make sure your savings is automatic. Number 4, realize it's okay to sometimes prioritize paying off high interest rates debts before you start saving for the emergency fund. Number 5, avoid the temptation of removing money early out of your 401k or your retirement accounts. Number 6, recognize that you need to check your credit, and it's very important. And number 7, define what your financial independence means to you. It might necessarily mean in the form of retirement, but it may mean, like I said earlier, travel, volunteering, starting your own business. These are just a few tips that I like to share with you guys this morning. I come here every morning, weekday morning, Monday through Friday, on the Money Matters Morning Show, where we talk all things faith, finances, and the freedom of good credit. I would love to know what your questions are, what your topics you would like for me to speak on. Feel free to direct message me, or you can email me at nefateria@nefateriarobinson.com. Please tag, please share. Sharing is caring. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you being up with me this morning and listening to what I had to say about faith, finances, and the freedom of good credit. You can also follow me at Facebook as well as Instagram at Nefateria Robinson. You can follow me on Twitter at ACT with Nef. And I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye.